Back on the Rivercats pregame show, it's the Rivercats and the Albuquerque Isotopes, Game 4 of the series as we head into the weekend. Zack Bayrouty, and I'm joined by Spencer Bivens, who last night notched his 8th save of the season. It was a 1-2-3 ninth, a couple of strikeouts. And let's just go back to last night and what was working for you last night. It seemed like it all was with the two punchies in there too.
I was just happy to be able to attack the strike zone. I know I got to like 3-2 in a couple counts, but to be able to get back in and execute pitches is something I've really been working on. So it's to be able to come back from those accounts and do that is speaking to my work ethic, I guess. I've been trying hard.
Yeah, work ethic is something. We're going to get into your story here in a moment, but first I want to congratulate you on being named the Pacific Coast League Pitcher of the Month in May. I mean, that's quite an honor in a league that is really tough for pitchers. If I had told you in 2022 that you were going to get that honor in here in 2024, I mean, what could you have envisioned it back then?
It would have been hard to envision just being at this level. But I never really thought about it, and it's cool to get it, but that's not really my goal. The goal is the big leagues, but to do whatever I can to help the team at this level is awesome, and to get that is, it's a nice little notch in the belt.
If you're not familiar with Spencer's story, it's an amazing story. You toiled in the far reaches of college baseball for a while. You wanted to go to Penn State. Obviously, you had some hardships there, and that didn't come to pass. But you go from playing, in college baseball obscurity to playing on the outskirts of Paris to wanting to go play in Czechoslovakia, but you were denied that chance because of COVID and everything in between. I mean, the stops along the way for you are pretty epic, and especially now that you're here, you look back and it's like, wow. What kept you going all those years?
Just knowing that I don't think I had reached my potential. I've always thought I could do more with baseball than I had done. And I'd see my friends, like my best friend played for the Dodgers. Just seeing his success kind of kept me motivated, and like he was, a stud prospect, and he went to Virginia Tech, so like seeing him at such high level all the time really just motivated me, and just believing in myself. I don't know, just didn't want to stop.
To be fair, you weren't topping out at 90 back then, and most people would say, maybe I'm just not built to do this and it's not in me. But obviously you had more in you. How did you know you had more in you, based on what you did back then to what you're doing now?
Well, I'm 6'5", and at the time was like 180. In college, probably topped out at 91, 92, sitting at like 89. And I don't know, I just always knew if I put on weight, there was possibility. And so after my second full year of indie ball, I did shred and kind of researched about it and kind of went all in on it. I gained 20 pounds and 30 pounds, and I just learned about plyo balls and like weighted balls, and it's been all up since then.
One of my favorite stories is we're joined by Spencer Bivens here on the pregame show. One of my favorite stories of your journey along the way is you were throwing baseballs into a sofa. This is before Rogers State. You didn't have anyone to throw to, and I guess it was in the dead of winter. You found a sofa on a giveaway site, and you got this free sofa, and you were literally playing catch with the sofa. What did you take away from those moments, about your stuff and about yourself?
Yeah, that was I was in college at Penn State, trying to get back on the team. And they have this thing called Riff Raff, and they just give away furniture on the side of the road. Picked up a sofa, and my roommates probably thought I was crazy just going down there and literally playing catch with it and doing my little throwing program. But I don't know, I was just didn't want that to be my final stage of baseball. Plenty of people told me oh, that's probably it, or whatever, didn't believe, but I knew in my heart that that wasn't it for me, and now here we are, AAA. So it's pretty cool.
It's pretty incredible. How did you start first spinning the baseball? How did that come into play with your off-speed stuff?
I kind of always threw a slider kind of slurve. Never really threw a 12-6. I tried to, just didn't really work with my arm angle. Slider was all right in college, and when I transferred, I I found some grips on Instagram actually, and that's really what kind of elevated it. It's like the sweeper that you see now, and I just went sinker sweeper that 22 off season, and yeah, I guess it was good enough that the Giants liked it and bought my contract. So it's just it's still a work in progress, but it's been a long journey with it.
Yeah, it's working right now. You know, before you got to the Giants, you were toiling in indie ball. What was that like for you, especially coming from, I mean, essentially European rec league? Like, what was indie ball like for you? Did it feel like a step up at the time?
Yeah, for sure. It didn't quite feel like affiliate ball, but I felt, dealing with major leaguers all the time in the Atlantic League, it felt really legitimate to me. And if I could prove myself there, just to myself, I felt that I could keep advancing. And my first couple of starts in Gastonia did really well, and faced guys like Brandon Phillips and Ben Revere, these guys I played MLB The Show with, and doing well against them and getting good feedback from them was really big for my mental. But yeah, just really that season just helped me solidify to myself that I can compete at a high level.
One of my favorite songs is a song called True Story by a guy named Tony Luca. You might not have heard of him, probably haven't, but one of the lines in that song is, "It takes the time it takes to get it right." And I've thought about that in the context of my life, and I think hearing your story, I kind of thought about it in the context of your life. Now that you're here, you're on the brink, would you have changed anything along the way, or would you have kept this story just the way it is?
Honestly, I was just talking to Marty about it. We were watching the Super Regional. I mean, if things had worked out for me at Penn State, I don't think I'm in this situation. I don't even know if I really even get to pro ball. I think this was how it was supposed to be for me. It was never easy. I've never had an easy route in any athletic endeavor. So I don't know. I think if it's meant to be like this is how it's supposed to be.
Spencer, you deserve to be here. I'm so pumped for your success. It's been a lot of fun to watch you, and best of luck along the way, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Bayrouty.
Got it. That's Spencer Bivens. We'll come back and have the starting lineups and the first pitch from Sutter Health Park next on Valley Live and the Rivercast Digital Network.